Something's in the mountains, you guys. You cannot convince me otherwise. This is a story time about something that was living in a treehouse outside of a cabin in Big Bear. And this story came from someone named Alexandra, who's going to be tagged if you have any questions. She said in 2010, she, her sister, her mom, her aunt, her cousin, and her grandmother all were going to take a big girls trip to Big Bear. They were all very excited, and they rented this cabin. I don't know what platform they use, but my guess is one of the shared property rental ones. Okay, so they pull up. As they're pulling up, the first thing that's unsettling about this cabin is they notice that there is a giant tree house in the tree very close to the actual cabin. And they pull up, it's all boarded up, so they're like, okay, well, it's probably just from whoever used to live here. They unload the car, they go inside, and as they were loading in the house, they noticed that they could hear like noises coming from this tree house. But because it's boarded up from the outside, they're like, okay, well, it's probably just an animal that got in. Don't think too much about it. But as they're in the cabin all night, they keep hearing this sound from outside. It sounds like it's coming from the treehouse, right? So that night, Alexandra, her sister, and her cousin are all sharing one bedroom. Her mom and her aunt were sharing another, and then her grandmother had her own bedroom. As you can imagine, the bedroom is a little bit cramped, so Alexandra is actually sleeping on an air mattress that's backed up against the door. She's about half asleep. I guess she was watching TV, and the door handle starts to turn, and so she turns to look at it, and she expects like her grandmother, her aunt, or her mom to come walking in, telling her to turn off the TV or something, but the door handle just stops, like nobody walks in. So she's just laying there looking at it, and then it starts to turn again, and then the door is pushed open about a third of the way, but nobody comes in. So she's like, Mom? And there's no answer. So she finally gets up, she looks out in the hallway, there's nobody in the hallway, so she peeks in her mom and her aunt's room and then her grandmother's room, and they're all asleep. She goes back in the bedroom where she's sleeping, and her sister and her cousin are also asleep. So she's like, weird, kind of gave her the creeps, so she ends up just laying back down on the air mattress, pulling the covers over her head, putting her AirPods in, and passing out. That night, she dreams about a little girl with red hair and pigtails, wearing a long white dress with blue bows, running up and down the green staircase in their cabin. Okay, not that weird, kind of creepy, but she's just like, I'm in a new place, probably strange dream. So she wakes up in the morning and she tells her sister about this dream, and her sister's face like goes white. She's like, I literally dreamed the same thing. Did the little girl have freckles? And she's like, she did. She's like, I didn't even mention the freckles to her. They're like, cool, same dream. How do you explain that? But they're determined to make the best of this trip, right? Because they're on a girls trip and they're going to have fun. So that night they are in the hot tub and everybody's having a great time, and they start hearing noises again coming from the treehouse, and it's like pacing, like definitely two legs pacing around. Sounds like somebody's walking up above them. Stomping, pacing, like someone is trying to be heard. So they just decide, you know what, screw this, we're gonna go inside. So they all go in, they go to sleep. They're trying to sleep at least, and then they hear howling coming from the treehouse. She's like, I don't know what it was, but I've never been so happy to get home in my life, and I think that that was haunted. I have always been sensitive to spirits, but I really think something was going on there. So I would love for people to tell me what they think, and like I said, she will be tagged, so let her know if you have thoughts or questions.